Hello and welcome to this video. Today we are going to talk about the new features that have been released recently in Secure Cloud Analytics. My name is Alicia Garcia Sastre and I am with the Cisco Security Platform and Response team. Let's have a look. So the first thing that you probably notice in the Secure Cloud Analytics GUI is the new site navigation. We have reorganized the options on the toolbar so they are grouped more logically based on common user workflows. So we have here under Monitor the dashboard, the alerts and observations. In the Investigate tab, we have the session traffic to have a look at the flows, the encrypted traffic report, all information about devices. And on report, we have items like visibility assessment. And in settings, we have all the options that we can configure in our portal. Here on the right, we have some additional options. In the question mark, we have some API documentation and some items that remain the same as it was in the all-site navigation. Also, we have a new dashboard that will provide a clear view of the traffic and devices on your network, the risks that we are facing at the moment, and the health of your network, and also a really detailed view of your encrypted traffic. So let's have a look at the different parts. On the top, we are able to see a timeline of the alerts, and we can see, for example, how many open alerts there are and how many are assigned to you. Here we can see the traffic patterns in your network with a clear graphic of the total volume monitor. And this is very useful if you, for example, want to see like at what times do you have spikes of traffic. Another interesting piece of information is the number of devices here. We also can see a timeline, how many devices are connected in your network at every time of the day. And we can see the number of internal IPs that are being monitored and to how many external IPs they are connected. On the encrypted traffic widget, we can see the total amount of traffic that is traversing our network, both inbound and outbound, and what is the rate of, what is the proportion of this traffic that is encrypted. And we will also be able to see a timeline here. We can also see the top devices that are communicating in our network and the top DNS devices. So the ones that are exchanging more information with DNS protocol. If we scroll to the bottom, we can see an overview of the amount of traffic that has been going to or from countries that you have marked as high risk. And here on the bottom, again, an overview of the observations. These are the pieces of information that Secure Cloud Analytics have collected from your network. And I wanted to also show you the new menu that we have with all the consolidated information about alert types. So we can see here a more intuitive way of selecting the alert priority. We can also enable or disable the alert. And we have here the MITRE ATT&CK tactics and techniques mapped to the alert type. MITRE ATT&CK is de facto a standard in the industry to get an understanding of the kind of detections that a security product provides. If you hover over a specific tactic, you can see here a brief description of it, and the same goes for techniques. On top of that, we have new filters that will allow security analysts to work more efficiently and find the threats that they care about quicker. So we can put here any keyword that we want to find in a specific alert. We can also select the priority of the alert that we want to filter, if they are enabled or not. And we can even select one specific tactic or also a technique and see all the alerts that are using this tactic. we have a brand new feature that will allow us to create entity groups, which are logical groups of resources in our network. Let's create one. So we can define here the name and even some description. And then to assign which devices are going to be added to that specific entity group, we can select here some available subnets that we already have in our environment and just select here add to selected to the group. And we also can define which devices are going to take part, just selecting here a CIDR range, for example, with a subnet mask of 24, and just add all the devices that are connecting with these specific IPs to this group. And if we have several CIDR ranges that we want to import, we can just use this option to add them from a CSV file, and we can just add them all at once in bulk. So now that I have my entity group created here, I can go ahead and create a watch list, which is also a brand new feature. Let's have a look. And what we will be doing by creating our own watch list is to define the segmentation rules that are tailored to my needs. And we will get an alarm when the conditions defined in the watch list are matched. So for this example, I have created a watch list that is alarming me if at any point I see that my PCI servers are talking to my printers, which is certainly that shouldn't be allowed on my network. So therefore I have here marked that it shouldn't be allowed. Later on, if I find any exceptions to the rule, I can define another entry and mark it allowed with some specific devices that can break this rule, right? And that should be allowed and that shouldn't alarm me. So here we can define the protocol if I want to specify it. And here is the power of the entity groups, right? So as a source, I can choose the entity groups that I have already defined. I can reuse them over and over. But I also have the flexibility of defining my own CIDR ranges here if I would choose to. And the same goes for the destination. So I have defined that my source will be the PCI servers and my destination will be the printers. And if I choose to, I can also define the ports. So with this, I will have here my rule, and I will get an alert if there is traffic matching this rule. And lastly, I want to talk about SecureX, as we have the possibility of using the SecureX ribbon now inside Secure Cloud Analytics. I've gone to the page of one of the alerts that we have, and I just wanted to show you that as I am logged in here in the SecureX ribbon, I have several options, like for example, seeing the casebook and the incidents and so on. But if I click in one of the IPs of the page, I'm gonna see this menu here, more with SecureX, and I will see this menu that is dynamically loaded with all the options that I have additionally because of SecureX. And I can do things like, for example, finding all the observables in the page. And once that I have them, I can select the ones that I want to add, for example, to a case, or I could investigate the internet response. So these two are deemed malicious. So I can add them to an ongoing investigation that I have. And therefore, it will be much quicker, the process. And now what I can do is just come here and I will have these two observables that I just added from my alert. And the last thing that I wanted to explain to you is how we can pivot to SecureX. So if I click here, we will go to the SecureX menu. And here I have added to my dashboard in SecureX all the possible tiles, all the possible widgets from Secure Cloud Analytics, which give us a complete picture, all the relevant pieces of information that we need to know about Secure Cloud Analytics. So we have here the health of the sensors, and we have a graphic about the amount of traffic over time. I can filter by inbound or outbound, and also filter by encrypted traffic, and what is the amount of alerts that are open, and the state of the alerts, the number of devices, and also number of alerts and observations. So with this, we have reached to the end of our video. We have learned that we have a new site navigation and a new dashboard. We have seen that we have a single page for checking all the information about our alerts, and check also the MITRE mappings and do filtering. We have seen how to create and use entity groups and internal collections, watch lists, and also SecureX integration with Secure Cloud Analytics. So with this, I hope you have enjoyed the video. And I leave you here some resources to sign up for a free trial and to learn more about Secure Cloud Analytics. Thank you so much for watching.